aren't going to be on their side tonight. This crowd very much backing the African side. It's Brazil against Tunisia here in Lille, and we'll pause ahead of kickoff for the national anthems. What a night ahead here in Lille as Brazil take on Tunisia in this international friendly. Kickoff is just minutes away. Brazil make 3 changes to the side that played Senegal in London on Saturday. Bento is given a game in goal, replacing Ederson for just his 6th cap. Former Lille defender Gabriel came off in that game with a thigh issue that is set to rule him out for the rest of the year. So Wesley comes in at right back with Militao moving into the middle. Caio Henrique is also given a start in the back line as the Monaco left back replaces Alexandro, who's on the bench. Casemiro scored a great goal in that win against Senegal on Saturday, ready to go again here, as are the referees, who are all from France. Jérôme Brissat is the man with the whistle, Alexandre Castro the VAR. There's one jazzy keyboard to be going on with. The 2 captains, Marquinhos, as well as Ferjani Sassi, who's come on in both of Tunisia's friendlies so far, but a start for him here tonight. Both sides in their traditional home colours for this one. And Tunisia flew through their qualifying group with 9 wins from 10 without conceding a single goal, so Brazil might find them a tough nut to crack. Watch out for Hannibal, who at the age of 22 wins his 39th cap in attack. Their side is captained by Al Gharafa midfielder Ferjani Sassi, who wins his 94th cap. and is one appearance away from 5th place in his country's all-time list. Anis Slimane misses these games with a thigh injury, and it's a team spread far and wide, with the 11 playing in 7 different countries. Everyone is fit and available for Carlo Ancelotti, bar Gabriel. Tunisia have already played 2 friendlies back in their capital city. Tunis with a squad of nearly 40 players, but it's been trimmed down to 26 for this one, including former Lille winger Naim Sliti, who's on the bench. Delighted to say, watching alongside me again this evening is former Premier League striker Glenn Murray. Glenn, we saw what Brazil were all about at the weekend, so much attacking flair in their front line. How did Tunisia cope with that?
Well, this is a step up for Tunisia, like you said. No goals conceded going into this World Cup qualifiers. So they're a team in form. They're very organised, but today is a different proposition. Brazil, these are the real deal. These will be going deep into the World Cup next year. And I think from a Brazilian point of view, it's about momentum leading into that World Cup for Carlo Ancelotti's men.
Flick on immediately by Mateus Cunha. Final game of 2025 for Brazil and Tunisia, who meet for just the 3rd time in their history tonight in northern France. Already an early run here, Bento well off his line and got a thigh to the ball. And once again, Glenn, it is a red-hot atmosphere here.
It is. I don't think I've heard a first touch from a nation welcomed like that before. Very strong cheer here in the stadium. Like you said, I think it's about 90% Tunisian fans here in Lille tonight, but Bento dealt with that very, very well. Very sharp off his line early on in the game.
And a slight change in shape for Tunisia, we think, as well. They normally go with a back 4, but Talbi, Bron and Meria all in the middle for them. From range here, a speculative one by Ali Abdi. And then on target, but a safe pair of hands shown by Bento.
Yeah, keeps hold of it well there, the goalkeeper. I think this is moving the way it falls down. Yeah, you can see it just moving in the air. It does well to keep his eyes on it. Really clean catch early on in the game for Bento. Definitely used to the tempo of the game already. And this will be a worry for Brazil.
And of course, already lost Gabriel to an injury just a few days ago. Play restarting here with a drop ball, but Eder Militao, who played it right back in that match at the Emirates on Saturday, moving into a more natural position in the middle tonight. And this man here, Wesley, taking his place at full-back.
Yeah, that's the last thing they need, is to lose somebody else of that quality. The centre of defence, like you mentioned, Gabriel, his home, his club at the Emirates went down, out for 2 months apparently. Brazil won't want to lose another centre-back this evening.
Wesley of Roma, all the way back to Bento, who was well on the right-hand side of his area, had to scurry back into the middle. And you can hear just the level of booing and hatred towards Brazil in this game from the Tunisian fans, who we saw in the centre of the city earlier with the flares singing and dancing and chanting. This is their game tonight. Brazil had the home crowd on Saturday, but this is a different kind of noise for them to play in.
Yeah, very much so, but listen, this is Brazil. They're used to this hostile atmosphere. In fact, if anything, I think those big stars out there in the field in yellow, they thrive off it.
Casemiro, Estevao. What a talent this man is. He showed that on the weekend. Estevao! Corner.
Wow, he is the wonder boy, isn't he, of Brazil at the moment, when he drifts in off that right-hand flank onto that trusted left foot, just trying to open that opportunity up at all angles. Brilliant how he just glides in, doesn't quite find the target on that occasion, but that is going to be a real threat for Brazil this evening.
Brazil here with the game's first corner. Estevao measures that one in. Not as far as Caio Henrique, playing at a stadium he knows well as a Monaco player down in the Principality. It's not a bad cross in, it was towards Bruno Guimaraes from Rodrigo. A run here for Elias Saad. Doing well enough. Abdi, who's already had one attempt on goal. Tunisia doing really well there to get right down the other end of the field.
Yeah, and that's what it's about for Tunisia. Counter-attacking with pace, power, more than anything belief, getting numbers forward at the right times. That man there that's just been brought down, Hannibal, he's their danger man there, one to watch.
Formerly of Manchester United. He's won a free kick here after Wesley went in a bit quick against him.
Well, this is the opportunity Tunisia to test this Brazilian defence, especially without the aeriability of Gabriel, probably the most aerial dominant Brazilian there is out there at the moment. So for him to be missing, there's a little bit of a hole in that defence. Is there a weakness?
Hannibal will take the free kick and take it well. Bento can't hold it. Cleared up in front of him.
I must say it's very, very early on in the game, but I am surprised how many touches the Brazilian goalkeeper's had. Doesn't quite collect that one, but deals with it really well, because it was a wicked ball in from Hannibal, asking all sorts of questions right into that danger area. Busy with players as well, Bento.
Sad. Marquinhos showing his experience well there. Able to guide it to safety as well, onto the chest of Mateus Cunha. By Sassi. Just too much there for Nasturi, who is the central striker in this side of Dinamo Makhachkala in Russia.
Yeah, you can see what he wants there. He wants Saad just to nip behind. I think he showed defeat instead, but in the moment, if you can get those moments right and unlock this Brazil defence, sure this stadium will go to a whole new level of noise.
Militao. Marquinhos. Not sure how it's coming through for you wherever you're watching with us tonight, but a real hostile atmosphere for Brazil to play in here. Also no strangers to that, given some of the opposition they face in South America, but from Carlo Ancelotti's point of view, just about as intense a friendly as you could wish for, as he tries to get his side fine-tuned ahead of the finals next summer.
Yeah, this little passage of play just shows Brazil's experience. They understand Tunisian tails are up. They just need to take the sting out of the game with a little bit of possession, take that pressure off themselves, slow Tunisia down. Doing it expertly well.
Vinicius, Casemiro, Cunha the closest to it. Valerie just came off his standing foot there, which made it a little bit awkward for him. Brazil looking to continue with things quickly. It's a throw that Caio Henrique will take. Vinicius. Anyway, back to Marquinhos. A few more of the players wearing gloves tonight than they were on Saturday. Steval stood little chance with that. Abdi will take this throw. Also plays here in France for Nice. Brazil have based themselves at the Arsenal training ground in North London all this week. They flew over yesterday and had a training session here yesterday afternoon before Tunisia arrived for a session on the field in the evening. Both sides getting acclimatised to the pitch. In November 2017, Brazil beat Japan 3-1 here. Goals from Neymar, Marcelo and Gabriel Jesus. The likes of Ederson, Danilo, Alexandro, Marquinhos and Casemiro were all in the squad for that one and are involved in some respect here tonight as well. Rodrigo.
Brazil just starting to find their feet going forward, aren't they? You can see they're settling into game a little bit more now, the South Americans.
Wesley beaten to it in the air there by Abdi. Hannibal. It's a free kick and he's asking for a yellow card to be shown as well here. Not the first free kick that Wesley's given away. And he is going to pick up a booking.
There's a genuine attempt to play the ball there, Wesley. Doesn't quite get there. See here, Hannibal quite strong, just leans across him, but I feel as though it's a bit of a soft yellow. Long way to go now for the Brazil right back on that card. That'll be a tactic. Savage Wesley's men get down this left-hand side, ask questions of Wesley.
Diamond's kick didn't go very far. Rodrigo, his chance, and cleared off the line. That was surely going in there. Magnificent defending behind the goalkeeper. It was cleared away by Montasser Talbi.
Doesn't quite get control of that. It's that reach across that just puts the defender off. Wonderful covering back from Talbi on the line. I think it is actually missing the target, in all honesty, but Talbi doesn't know that as he's approaching his own goal, but that is what Brazil are capable of. They can just blow really hot in an instant. Players like that man there, Vinicius Jr. on the pitch, they can just spring into life.
It's the fans of the Seleção you can hear at the moment. Many of them, I'm sure, travelled over from London. Only an hour and a half by train under the water. Plenty of Tunisian fans live in this part of the world as well. It is a Brazil free kick. Estevão at the heart of everything good from a Brazil point of view once again. And Abdi stepping across his path.
I think Brazil are safe to ask the question, why isn't that yellow card in the place of the pitch? It was given away by Abdi. Estevão approaching the 18-yard box. This is a good opportunity for Brazil, though. The quality they've got on this free kick. I think it will be the young man to take it, the one that won it. Estevão, can he come up with the opener just like he did at the Emirates on Saturday?
A sweeping finish it was from the right. What has he got in his locker here? It's a long, high Tunisia wall. 18-year-old looks the favourite here. Estevão palmed away by the goalkeeper. He didn't fancy his chances in terms of holding it there, but it was job done for Tunisia.
Yeah, Diamond scoops it away, doesn't he? A little bit unorthodox. Tunisian goalkeeper dealt with that. Not the most dangerous free kick. Probably expecting to go for the opposite corner. Tried to give the goalkeeper the eyes. Bend it in this near corner. Estevão. See here. Tries to go a little bit lower. Diamond just scoops it from under his body. Good save by Tunisian goalkeeper.
He went through the wall in the end. Hannibal not quite tight enough. Goalkeeper there, Ayman Dahmen, just doing enough. At the other end, Tunisia have won a corner. This is their first. They've not seen too much of the ball so far. Carlo Ancelotti's side have had 79% possession in the opening 12.5 minutes.
Well, the reason for the noise there as Hannibal's going to take over that corner. And a little bit of applause to the Tunisian fans in that corner. Very well accepted. Seems to be a problem here.
An object of some kind has been thrown onto the field here. Carlo Ancelotti having a word with the referee as he came over to hand it over to fourth official Rudy Bouquet. They are making an announcement here to the fans in the stadium, just trying to tell them to keep their calm. It's been a highly charged contest so far. I don't want anything to ruin it. Hannibal's corner. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything special from this. Well, maybe there is. Good technique to bend it in, but Bento eventually holds on. Tries to get rid, and now maybe big problems. Sassi who's forced wide. Many are there with him. And Sassi has to go back out. Well, Bento's desire to get the ball forward there nearly had disastrous consequences.
Well, Enrique does really well just to force Tunisia back and not be able to manufacture a pass towards the 18-yard box or a shot on target. There's a little bit of an issue for Brazil on Saturday. The goalkeeping position, Edison was a little bit sloppy sometimes in possession. Bento is carrying on that tradition this evening, trying to get a quick break. I think it comes off the back of Guimaraes. Now there's the apology.
By Bruno Guimaraes, and the Newcastle midfielder again on the ball. Looks like the positions of he and Casemiro are pretty much locked in under Carlo Ancelotti. Brazil once again playing without a recognised striker in this one. They only really have one senior in the squad in terms of Richarlison. Vitor Roque as well of Palmeiras has only got one cap and is also on the bench tonight.
Well, you can see Brazil here. Bruno's swinging out to this right-back position, which is allowing Wesley to push forward. They're just trying to get that advantage down this right-hand side. This time it's worked.
Cunha, so comfortable on the ball.
He's a wonderful carrier of the football, isn't he? Seen it in a Manchester United shirt so many times. He's grown in confidence.
Well, Tunisia had such a great time during qualifying as we just see this attack breakdown for Brazil.
Doesn't quite get that ball right, does he, Bruno? In the right position. Relatively easily passed for a man of his calibre, just needs to cushion it into the space. Gets it slightly wrong. And Wesley can't quite reach it.
Sami Trabelsi there, the Tunisia head coach. They didn't concede a single goal in their 10 matches. 9 wins, a single draw, and 22 goals scored. It was a super run for them.
The highest points margin of any table, any group in the African qualifiers.
Yeah, the only game they didn't win was away to Namibia. They drew a blank there as it ended 0-0. Heading to their 7th World Cup next year, but are looking to qualify for the knockout stages for the very first time.
It's a nasty one, this, for Abdi. And you get caught up there, go right over the top. The wind out you sometimes. Bruno knew exactly what he was doing there, just getting under the Tunisian defender.
Damen. Marquinhos there with a cool chest down. Nipping in though was Talbi. Abdi, adventurous from the left again. And he's going it alone. He's done really well. It's a goal kick though.
That's really unfortunate from Abdi. Wonderful play by the Tunisian defender. And the standout player so far in red, without any doubt. Sees the gap here, believes in his speed, and he gets there around the back of Wesley. Wesley does well to make a recovering challenge. Unfortunate the way it's ricocheted back off Abdi there, but I think Sami Trabelsi get the ball more to him. He's the danger man at the moment.
Better kick by Bento this time, but it comes straight back towards Sad. He battles Militao. And an offside here against Estevao. And a free kick to Tunisia. Carlo Ancelotti's side 7th in the FIFA World Rankings at the moment, an 8th game in charge for him tonight. He's only got a 1-year contract with the Seleção, with one objective in mind: bring the World Cup home once again.
No pressure.
Did ask him after the game on Saturday about the pressure that the job brings, but he's such a cool character, isn't he?
Well, I think when you've been in tenure of the jobs he has over the years, yes, it is a job steeped in history, also steeped in pressure, but he doesn't feel it, does he? After his days at Real Madrid and the likes, he's used to that.
Headed return there by Mateus Cunha, not what Wesley was hoping for. Abdi's throw. Abdi scored actually in their previous game, a 3-2 win against Jordan on Friday. He got the opener for them 2 minutes before half-time.
And when you get a look at Tunisia's fixture list over this international break, this is the one. This is the one all the players would have wanted to play in, without any doubt. The biggest test of the games they've played.
Hannibal, lovely touch there into Sad. Casemiro with the 1-2 with Cunha. Estevao, the ball's on in the middle if he can play it. Rodrigo. He's lost it. And Sassi helps it on. Chasing Masturi. Back to Bento. Wesley. Really good tempo to this game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, James, 20 minutes in and we haven't had many gilt-edged chances, but it's a game that he's delivering, isn't it? It's a game in the balance. It's been wonderfully energetic, end-to-end. But so far, no team has really managed to test the goalkeepers.
Casemiro. Militao of Real Madrid. Caio Henrique moves forward into midfield, a role that he's performed in the past for his club side Monaco.
Well, you can definitely see why Tunisia didn't let a goal in World Cup qualifying. The way they sit in, very organised unit. They all know each other's strengths and weaknesses, making it difficult for Brazil here.
Casemiro, Caio Henrique. There's Vinicius on the wing. Running here with Valerie.
Very quiet so far, Vinicius, hasn't he? Brazil will want him more up.
Rodrigo on a mazy run, but one too many red-shirted players in the way for him. And a foul on Hannibal brings the free kick.
Yeah, it's good play by Hannibal, that. Really, really clever, the way that he's used his body to get between ball and man. See here, just opens his body out, ball and man, takes that contact, and even when he does take that contact, falls on the ball just in case that free kick isn't given. See there, his teammates, what they think of it. Extremely clever play by a Tunisian man. Well, I'm sure looking on just down below us, Sammy Wesley will be absolutely delighted with the way his players have started this game and have settled into it. Yes, they have got the lion's share of supporters in the stadium, but they're delivering for them at the moment.
Yeah, no surprise they've got the majority of the support here. Around 200,000 Tunisian-born people live in France overall, who had colonial rule over Tunisia from 1881 until 1956. Big connections between the two countries. Abdi, that's a fine ball, Masturi's in! This stadium has just exploded!
Well,
Hazem Masturi gives Tunisia the lead, and these fans are going wild.
You can see what it means, not only to the fans, but the players as well. Wesley's had a real problem down this right-hand side. They've kept attacking him all night. Eventually they get away from him. Abdi again puts a wonderful ball into the middle there, and that's got to be a really good touch by Masturi when it arrives. He kills it dead, opens the goal up, and has the coolness and composure in that moment just to find the back of the net, plays it beyond Bento. It's all about the touch though, isn't it? Watch this. Brilliant goal. He hasn't had much in terms of efforts in front of the goal this evening, but first one absolutely razor sharp by the Tunisian number 9. Finds the back of the net and wheels away. Brilliant start. And we just said about the man there, hadn't we, the manager, how happy he'd be with his men. Let me tell you, he's even happier now.
Hazem Masturi with his 4th international goal. His last came after just 4 minutes in a World Cup qualifier against Liberia back in September. But that one, whatever the days left in his career has for him, that will go down in the history books and into his memory box for the rest of his days on this earth.
Yes, he can't. No one can ever take that away from Wesley. He's just trying to bomb on all the time. It's a real issue, this right-back spot for Brazil. They haven't really managed to fill it after the likes of Cafu held that spot for many, many years. Wesley seems to be the weakness, definitely from a Tunisian point of view. And one thing that has gone a little bit unnoticed is the assist to that goal. It was Abdi. He's been outstanding in red so far, and he was the one that delivered that ball into the box. Perfect precision, finds his number 9, high up the field again, brave with his play.
Well, in the 2 previous matches between the two nations, Tunisia came from behind to equalise against Brazil. This time they've taken the lead, and now they have something to protect. And the visibility, certainly inside the stadium, has been lessened somewhat, because after that goal a number of fireworks and flares were set off. Here's Casemiro, and that was travelling. Just couldn't quite bend it inside that far post.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying to do, Casemiro. And you can also see, as that ball comes towards the camera, how straight it is. Doesn't quite get that bend in he would have liked. And yeah, you say the visibility, well, that goal lit up the stadium in a number of ways, didn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. A certain pong around us at the moment now as well. Smoke from those pyrotechnics has a very distinct smell to it.
I'm glad you cleared that up, James.
Tunisia have a throw, and the Brazilian bench just trying to urge the players to calm down out there.
Yeah, this is a big 5-10 minutes for Tunisia. They need to remain calm, composed, not enjoy the moment too much. This is when you're at the most susceptible. Oh!
And now Vinicius suddenly has a chance. Cunha inside, Estevão far side, Vinicius! Claims it went off him last, but it does go behind for a corner.
Well, like I say, that's when you could be your weakest, when you feel as though you're in. You have the upper hand in the game. All of a sudden, Vinicius has been very quiet on the evening. Just wonder, could he have found someone in the centre of the box there? Tries to take it on his own. Now Ancelotti certainly want a little bit more from his number 7.
Here comes the corner. Easily nodded away. Estevão recovers it. Caio Henrique. Rodrigo. Vinicius trying to find room, which is really not there for Brazil right now. And once again, that counter-attacking threat coming from Tunisia. And they've got 2 over. Wesley with an important header. It's end-to-end stuff here in Lille. Bruno Guimaraes. Vinicius. They are defending manfully at the moment, Tunisia, giving absolutely everything out there for the shirt.
Yeah, you can see the desire to get forward from that corner ball, can't you? Flying forward in their numbers. Slight issue with the ball here. There's a coming together between Abdi and Wesley there. And we just took a little bit of air out of it. Calls for another ball.
New balls, please. The previous one seemed to have a slow puncture. Brazil back in possession. Vinicius. Bending one towards Bruno Guimaraes. Firm header out by Talbi, who plays here in France for Lorient.
What Tunisia are doing, they're picking up the second balls really well.
Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, well away from what he wanted to do.
He's very good at making those later runs into the box. Bruno picks his moments very well, usually executes a little bit better than that. Doesn't quite have the cuteness to feel it over the top of Diamond that he was trying to do, try and find that side netting. Need to get that ball to him more often from a Brazilian point of view. Let him start dictating this game a little bit more, because at the moment it's Tunisia that are in the ascendancy.
Bruno Guimaraes doesn't have a great record in this stadium either. Now with Newcastle, formerly with Lyon. He played 3 times here. Drew twice and lost the other.
Well, could history be repeating itself?
Certainly looking that way at the moment.
Well, just assessing Brazil, we lauded them for the energy that they gave against Senegal at the Emirates on Saturday, but tonight has not been the same, has it? I suppose you could put that down to Tunisia and how well they've done. But I think Carlo Ancelotti will definitely want a little bit more from his team.
Well, he is a hard taskmaster, Carlo Ancelotti. Estevao looking for Vinicius, but swept away in time. There was a quote from him earlier this year where he said, "I only speak once. Either you do what I'm telling you or you're out the team."
Is that a message to someone that's not in the team?
Well, there was a little bit of chat, wasn't there, around the press room at Arsenal at the weekend about Neymar's current situation. Of course, a staple of this side for many years, but not involved at the moment. He's only just come back from injury as well with his club side Santos, back at where it all started for him. The ball flashes across the face of goal for Brazil.
Yeah, they're just starting to come to life, Brazil, aren't they?
That's a nice leave, and hit from range, but hit wildly over and out by Militao.
Yeah, right idea by Real Madrid centre-back as this ball's rolled back into his path. Wonder maybe could he have a touch? Sorry, not Real Madrid, PSG should I say. It's one of the old, keep your head over the ball first and foremost, keep it down, it's back slightly. That's Tunisia out of a little bit of a sticky spot. Momentum was starting to grow for Brazil there.
Looking for the flick. Well, the smoke in the air slowly starting to lift, but the majority of the fans inside this stadium are getting what they came for here tonight. Tunisia with the lead, thanks to that firm strike by Hazem Mastouri.
Well, it's certainly what you want from a friendly, this type of atmosphere, this type of bite in the game. Football players never just want to go through the motions. You're putting the kit on, you're putting the boots on, you might as well have a good go. Both of these teams are this evening, without any doubt, here in Lille. It's turning out to be a wonderful game of football so far.
Estevao, challenged by Hannibal. He was caught late there by Bruno Guimaraes. Well, he has gone down here. Tunisia did have the advantage and were away. Someone's going to be called back here. And another yellow, I think, might be dished out here to Bruno Guimaraes, or maybe just a talking to.
Well, that's the question, why a player wasn't allowed to go on. Referee won't be sad. Was a whistle just a little bit too early. You can always revisit that decision there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Definitely is a free kick. But Tunisia were well aware they're in a really good, strong attacking position. Sada carried the ball 30 yards forward. Poor refereeing.
You normally only see referees stop playing that kind of situation if they are going to issue a card. But it wasn't forthcoming there from Jérôme Brissat. Wesley. And the two clashing again there. Hannibal and Bruno Guimaraes. Here's Casemiro.
Keep your eye on that one.
Rodrigo. Vinicius. Through towards Rodrigo, but hammered away by Talbi. Militao. See Tunisia fairly compact here at the moment, camped in their shape.
Maybe dropping a little bit too deep and inviting Brazil on.
It's a nice combination. Vinicius. Was crowded out there before he got his strike away. And Brazil trying to crank up the heat here in the freezing temperatures in northern France.
Yeah, they are. They're starting to cut through Tunisia. See here, should do better really there. And Valery get that ball away. It's a poor clearance, and he gifts Brazil the corner. Another opportunity to put the ball in the box.
They'll be taken here by Rodrigo, short to Vinicius. A bit of movement here for Brazil. Estevão, I don't think that was in the script.
No, they worked that space really well there. Cunha with the deep run, Valery
and towards Marquinhos. Valery has time and space. So playing forward towards Sad.
Yeah, like I said, Brazil worked that really well there. Cunha goes underneath it. Estevão comes from round the back, and it wasn't for a poor touch. He would have had a shot at the Tunisian goal. Tunisia just slowing the game down in these instances when there's stops. Just trying to take that sting out of what seems to be a growing Brazilian momentum.
You do feel it only is going to take one opening for them, given the players they've got playing across the front tonight. Free kick here, quickly taken. Casemiro, Wesley. A lot of the players come down Wesley's side so far, hasn't it, for Tunisia? They have tried to get around him, and half the time Ali Abdi has fancied doing it himself. He hasn't needed the support of others.
Yeah, arguably the best player on the pitch so far. The Tunisian left wing back has been up and down constantly.
Is that a foul? Yes, free kick Brazil.
More and more niggly fouls from Tunisia. A bit frustrating. See there, no doubt about that. Sassi taking out Rodrigo. Brazil just starting to pick the ball up in those pockets, those dangerous pockets in between the defence and the midfield, where they can be effective. At the last place, from a Tunisian point of view, you want the likes of Vinicius, Estevão to get on the ball.
With this almost being dead centre, a number of options here for the Seleção.
Well, not sure what the referee's counting out there, but from my angle up here, that looks like an awful big distance between the ball and the wall.
10 yards, 10 metres, what's the difference?
Looks more like 15 to me, but he's the boss.
Here it comes, and it very nearly squeezed in the corner. A good tip behind there by Dachman.
Yeah, but that allows Brazil to be able to curl it round with ease round the wall. Yeah, it's a wonderful save by Dachman. Full stretch to his left-hand side, managed to get his fingertips on it.
Estevão with the corner.
And they all got the footage.
Spending, Dachman with safety in his mind.
I just wonder if he could have collected that, taken the pressure off his team.
Wesley positioned himself well. Estevão, as Bruno Guimaraes running ahead. Militao's in the middle. Cunha getting there as well. And somehow blocks. Rodrigo denied for the second time in a minute.
Well worked by Brazil. It's getting numbers into the box. Eventually it arrives at Rodrigo. And it is a really good block, isn't it? By Skiri. Oh, Jan Valery, sorry. Doesn't know too much about it. Just catches him on the toe. Nevertheless, it's big.
Estevão, another corner. They're really starting to rack up now for Brazil. Estevão again. Abdi standing in his way, and Estevão pulled down there, yellow card coming out. That's the kind of threat that Estevão has, the way he can just run in behind you with limited effort.
Well, it was the way that he just held his run for a moment, just paused, just allowed Abdi to get sucked into the challenge, and then all of a sudden just puts the turbo on, takes it past him. Abdi knows, can't let him go past at that stage. Has to pick up a yellow card on the evening.
Brazil fans trying to suck this ball in. It was towards Militao, and now it's the goalkeepers. Cunha protesting there inside the box. I think he was saying that he was being held.
It's funny, isn't it, on corner kicks? Whenever you defend us, then they're being held.
So Brazil free kick here, which has been taken too quickly. That's because there's a potential penalty check ongoing here at the moment with VAR Alexandre Castro.
Yeah, he just needs to be careful at the moment. The referee, game's starting to boil over slightly. We can see there Cunha being held. I think he's doing as much hold as Jan Valery.
But Valerie's taken a massive risk there because he's not even looking at the ball, is he?
No, he's not, but you never really feel as though Cunha's going to get away from him. Cunha at moments in that move there was holding him as well. See here, this one here, 2 arms on him. You could argue he's trying to get free. I would say that's more of a wrestle.
Yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
It's a long wait.
And the longer the wait goes on, you normally have a feeling of what's coming. And Jérôme Brissart is coming to the screen.
Well, this will be really tough for Tunisia if this penalty is given. I don't think this is clear and obvious holding. When you stop it there, I mean, really the VAR hub should not be just showing a clip of that movement. They should be shown the whole move. They should be giving the referee the whole pitch. Or is it the handball there that they're asking off the header?
Maybe it is.
I think they are. I don't think it's the holding from Cunha. I think it's this handball here.
And it's defender Dylan Bron.
It all depends if Marquinhos gets a head on it first or if it hits the Bron's hand first. We'll soon find out.
The referee's going to announce his call.
Number 6 from Tunisia, committed a punishable handball. My final decision is penalty.
Penalty Brazil.
Well, from the angles that were shown there, I can't see that Marquinhos doesn't head that ball onto Bron, which makes this decision really uncomfortable from my point of view there. I can't see if it is, Militao, who just gets a little nick on it. Again, that angle, you can't tell. Yes, there's no question it does hit Bron's arm, but does it hit him directly? From those angles that we've seen, you can't tell. I would say Brazil fortunate to have a penalty kick here.
And if we assume that it did hit him directly, you have to say that by having his arm in that position above his shoulder opens up the risk of something being awarded against you.
Listen, if it hits his arm direct from the corner kick, I'm comfortable with it being a penalty without any doubt. But from the images that we've just seen, you can't tell that. You can't tell that Militao doesn't get a nick on the ball and sends it onto the arm. If that is the case, I don't believe it should have been a penalty. Better angles needed, one would say.
The man who looks like he's going to take this penalty is Estevão, who we saw score from open play at the weekend. But a bit of pushing and shoving going on for the referee to sort out first. So a delay ahead of this penalty being taken. Estevão waiting and being made to wait here. Think how long ago the incident actually took place.
Yeah, he can't help but feel as though this young man thrives with pressure on his shoulders.
Well, all 4 of Estevão's goals have come in his last 5 caps. This is his 11th appearance tonight for Brazil, and now looking for his 5th goal for his country. Estevão against Dachmann. The Chelsea winger steps up and dispatches, and Brazil are on terms.
Wait, what wait? Dispatches it absolutely expertly. Pace, power, height, top corner. He's the man as he kisses that badge. His star is shining brighter and brighter in Brazil. The hope is getting heavier and heavier on his shoulders, but he loves the burden. He keeps coming up with the goods over and over again. He seems to be the man for Brazil.
This man is just 18 years old, such swagger, such style in everything he does. A Seleção player if ever you saw it. And Carlo Ancelotti will be praying he's in tip-top form next summer in the Americas.
They always have this knack, Brazil, don't they? Every World Cup there seems to be a star that just shines a little bit brighter in the 12-month leading up to the World Cup, and often takes the stage by storm. How many Brazilians have we seen do that in the past?
Well, just 2 minutes of additional time at the end of the first half. You probably feel more apt to have about 20, given what we've seen in this first period. But a break for everyone coming up soon.
I can't understand how it's only 2 minutes. It felt like that penalty decision took at least 7.
I think you're going to have a debrief with the referees after this one.
Well, I think it'd be a bit longer than 2 minutes, put it that way.
Estevão. Brazil looking to turn things around before the break. Wesley. Casemiro.
I think we should probably tell the viewers why we didn't really have much knowledge of the VAR, shouldn't we, James, tonight?
French, not our forte, let's say. All the officials French here tonight. My GCSE French doesn't stretch to VAR communication.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm quite fluent in French either.
Wesley. Oh, it's loose there by Bruno Guimaraes. Tunisia with the final attack of the half, maybe. Sad. Hannibal. Lost it. Estevão. It's Brazil's chance instead. Rodrigo. Cunha takes it in his strides. No foul. And the Manchester United man denied a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. Final seconds. Abdi. And the play goes.
Disappointing by Saad that, just letting that ball squeeze out of play. Bruno Guimaraes down here, looks like he's struggling. I was watching him just trying to get back there. And Tunisia were counter-attacking, just took a moment.
Half-time. And the end of the 45, called by referee Jérôme Brissat, who made the big call right at the end of the 45 to give Brazil the penalty. Scored by Estevão, but it was Tunisia that took the lead midway through the first half through Hazem Mastouri. Dino Makachkalaman with a fine finish in front of goal. And at the break, these two sides are level. The second half set up brilliantly. At the break at the Stade Pierre-Mauroy, it's Brazil 1, Tunisia 1.